Hello, and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So this concert was definitely a blast from the past, so I'm really excited to get into it. It was definitely a fun one. So there were three bands. Hockey Dad was the opener, and then Taking Back Sunday, and then the main attraction was Third Eye Blind. So let's start with Hockey Dad. I liked the second verse in their first song. I honestly think it was the venue and there weren't enough people, and so it was really echoey, and so it was kind of hard to hear the lyrics. But I definitely thought that the instrumentals got kind of more interesting as the song progressed. At first it just sounded kind of mushy, like it was all just one instrument playing at one time. The second song had a really good rock feel. Really liked the instrumentals with the next song. Again, it was still echoey, but I think because there were less instrumentals during the verses, it was definitely easier to understand the lyrics. Then they played their newest single. I want to say it was Tears to Cry, maybe. But the stagehand had to go fix the bass drum, and I was actually really impressed because the drummer never stopped playing. He never got interrupted. It was pretty impressive. And then I really enjoyed the instrumentals right before the bridge in that one. After that, they played a slower, which was like less instrumentally heavy start. I liked the song, but it definitely did not fit well with the previous three songs, because the three songs had a really good vibe. Vibe-wise, it was pretty consistent. And so yeah, so that was a little bit of like a downer, that it was just didn't match. Again, it was a good song, it just didn't match the vibe. Then after that, they played a much quicker, faster paced song, which I immediately liked more than the previous one. And I really loved the first verse. That was probably the highlight for me of their set. And then the last song had a bit of a slower start, but did pick up during the choruses. And then there was this like ooze part, like towards the end, which was a little bit long for me. So that was a little bit disappointing. Probably just do that for right now. So yeah, so overall I liked their set. Again, they had that slower song, and I did think the last song was a little bit too slow for the moment. Then there was Taking Back Sunday. I recognized the first one, but didn't know it that well. But I did really like that they started with that one. I thought it was a great start. It was an upbeat. They did like a group building exercise in the middle of it, where they had us put up our left hand and then our right hand and then put our hands together so that we were clapping. But yeah, so I thought that was a really good first choice song. Then they played Set Phasers to Stun, which was a great follow-up. I didn't forget. I was actually very much looking forward to it, but I forgot how cool it was. The lead singer often spins his mic, and it was just, fun during this song in particular. He used a filter during the bridge, and then like at the end he did this like really cool mic spin move, which was awesome. So again, I really liked that. After that, they played Liar, which was so great. I was so excited. I loved it. And they definitely changed up the instrumental part of the bridge, so I really liked that change. And again, I mean, it's Liar, so that was super epic, and I loved it. Then after that, the lead singer introduced the guitarist, and only the guitarist. And you're gonna want to keep note of this because it comes back. Then they played Just Us Two, which is a song that they recently collaborated with another artist on. So I didn't know it very well. I definitely had heard it before. It would not have been my follow-up choice, just because it went from Liar to this like not as great song. Again, not great as in like not as well known by me personally, and not as just like, oh my god, they're playing a song that I know. But I did love the chorus, like really like the chorus, and then they had like multiple singers singing at once at the end, so I really liked that too. Then they played Timberwolves at New Jersey, and they definitely changed up the pacing during the second verse, so I really liked that. And again, it was awesome to hear Liar, and then you kind of get that other song, so I do understand why they put that song in between those two more well-known songs. I loved the quick start feel of the follow-up, which I'm gonna say is Can't Look Back, which was Can't Look Back. That was the song, sorry guys. Definitely less instrumentally heavy start, but still like a really good follow-up to Timberwolves in New Jersey. I loved okay, so at one point it kind of looked like he was doing the lead singer was doing mime footwork during the bridge, because like the bridge has this like slower start, and so I just like loved it. I was like, oh, this man is so great. It's just so fun to watch him on stage like performing. And then there was like lots of those like two vocals at the same time, so I really like that. Then they played You're So Last Summer. So there was definitely some pacing change in the second verse, and again, those like dual lyrics. I love the dual singing. Love the bridge of that song. It's so much fun. So yeah, that was a really great follow-up. Really like those like 3 songs back to back. I didn't know the next song, but it held a similar vibe to the previous song, like at the beginning, but then it kind of had some slower parts during the verses. So, and then lyrically, it's funny. It's like, you could definitely tell it must have been a newer song, at least I think. And if I'm wrong, you could be like, you're an idiot. But, to me, it felt like a newer song because the lyrics just felt a little bit more mature. And again, like, it wouldn't have been my pick because I obviously like to hear songs that I know right in a row. But I really did like the piano part during the bridge, or the keyboard part during the bridge. It was like this like haunting sound, but it was really awesome. And then they had another song with a slower start that I didn't recognize either. And then he said it was going to be upbeat but more morbid, but I definitely felt like it was just morbid. And then I looked it up and it was Better Homes and Gardens. So I had never heard that song, but and again, it's not like I didn't like the song, it just I didn't know it, and I was promised an upbeat song, and I didn't feel like it was as upbeat as I was expecting it to be. Then they played A Decade Under the Influence. So again, I love the dueling vocals in this song. It's really, really great. Definitely a big, like, obvious change towards the end, which I loved. Both singers changed their pace like together, so that was really cool. I really liked that. And then they played Louder Now, which was like the best follow-up ever. Oh my gosh. And he changed the part with like the knees to like little knobby knees your mother gave you. So I really liked that. Again, just like super obvious changes. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Oh, and then so during the bridge, he also held some words too. So I thought that was really cool. After that, they played Cute Without the E. Guys, it was the best follow-up song ever. Louder Now, and then Cute Without the E. So good. So good. They held a few words, especially back, like that, like, you know, when it's like super, not screamy, but kind of screamy, like the heaviest part of the song. It was so good. I love the dueling lyrics in that, like the singing. It's so, so good. And then the whole crowd saying, why can't I feel anything for anyone but you? So really fun song. Oh, it's just so great. So great. All right. So then overall, they kept referring to the guitarist throughout the set. And he talked about a sleepover that the guitarist had. They thanked Hockey Dad, and then they had like a big lead into being able to see Third Eye Blind, and then they played Make Damn Sure. So some subtle changes in the first verse for that one. During the bridge, he knelt down next to a fan and his hair was blowing in it, and it was like his model moment. But yeah, like literally could not have asked for a better 4 songs. It was so good. It was just so epic. Yeah, just like really cannot complain about the end of their set. It was so good. Just so good. Yeah. All right. So they had a great end for me. Loved it. Really good beginning. Again, in the middle, I kind of didn't know a few songs, but can't really complain because the last 4 songs were epically amazing. So then Third Eye Blind came. Oh, this is going to be a doozy. So the band came out and started playing first, and then the singer came out shortly after. I don't really know what the beginning was. I don't know if it was like part of the song that he was singing. I couldn't really hear it. I don't know if it was like a little bit of a different song that they never actually played the whole song to. But anyway, when he actually went to the mic stand to start singing, they played Thanks a Lot, which I thought was a really, really great first song, right? It's a well-known song, but it's not one of their like big ones. So I was like, what a great way to start that show, right? You're drawing people in because they know the song, but they're not like, oh, you started with the song that I wanted to hear last. So I really liked that, and I thought that was really well done. Then they played a song I didn't recognize. I loved the short, quick feel of the pre-chorus, and it was really impressive guitar part for the instrumental bridge. So I really liked that second song. So their set was like a ramp, right? So the drummer, and there was like a down ramp, and then there was the keyboard / piano, and then there was another down ramp. And so the guitarist and the bassist were initially on the ramp, and so was the singer, and then the guitarist and the bassist came off the ramp and into the front of the stage. And so I also so then they played Faster, the song Faster, which had a short, quick feel, guys. That was very appropriate to the name of the song. It wasn't a song I knew super well, but I did love that they were playing those like at the start. So I was like, okay, get rid of all the songs that I don't really know first, and then like play all the songs that I love at the end. So that was kind of my hope. They may have done too good a job, but we'll get to it. Yeah. So at the end of that song, it was actually pretty cool. All the band members kind of congregated around the drummer, and then like at the end it was like boom, boom, boom. They were all playing like the same note at the same time, so that was pretty neat. Then they went right into Crystal Baller, so that was fantastic. That was like the first song that I was like super excited to see. Great live, really loved the bridge in that one, and then like the build up back to the chorus was so good, so I really liked seeing that. Then they played I'll Never Let You Go, which was a fantastic follow-up for me personally. A little bit worried that they had played it too soon, and I definitely had a right to be, because they definitely played it a little too soon for me personally. But yeah, so it was great, super fun to see live. They changed the bridge, they added like yas and oohs, especially towards the end of the song. Then the next song was less instrumentally heavy, but it still had that short, quick feel for the verses. I didn't recognize the song, but I really liked it. And again, it just wasn't a great follow-up for me, because you had I'll Never Let You Go, and then you followed a song that I didn't know. So I actually liked the song and thought it was a good follow-up in general, because it had like a good feel to it, but you know, just maybe push I'll Never Let You Go to the end a little bit. Then they played another, guys, this is like the theme of the night, which is really actually sad. So then they played another song that I didn't know, but musically it was a great follow-up. I really loved the pre-chorus. I thought it was really great. And then he like threw the top half of his mic stand just like behind him on stage, so that was pretty rock star, I guess. So then after that, again, I didn't know the song. I'm so sorry, I feel bad. But I think this one, maybe this was I've Got This Feeling, that was the chorus, I think. But yeah, so I didn't really know that. And that's the point where I was like, yeah, I definitely was underprepared for this show. But I really enjoyed it. It was a great follow-up, and I liked the, I did like the previous song better, but I definitely thought that this was a good follow-up. Then after that, they had an extended instrumental open, which for me was like, okay, they're gonna play a song that I know, because why would they have this extended instrumental if everyone was gonna not know the song? So anyway, they played Narcolepsy, which I had never seen them play live before, and so I don't know if I've said this in previous videos, but I collect songs like Pokemon, right? Like I gotta catch them all. I just want to see a band play every song that I like from them. So Narcolepsy was that song. I've seen them at least 2 times, potentially 3, but definitely 2 times, and I had not seen Narcolepsy. So they definitely had this like slower, definitely interesting pace for the first verse, which I really liked. And then man, did they hit that chorus, and it was so good and just so energetic, and it was amazing. So then he put the mic with his half of his mic stand on the ground and went up to the drummer and played cymbals. Okay, but then like halfway through the song, he stopped and he was like, okay guys, like I want you to turn to someone and tell them, like a stranger, that they're glad that they're there, and like I won't lie, like there's like a magic to being together. And I was like, bro, you're a little bit killing this song for me. I've never seen it before live, and this break in between, he didn't speak the entire time. Not once did he talk between songs. They just went from song to song to song to song to song, except for when he so I was just like disappointed. I was like, really, you had to do it now in this song that I've never seen before and really wanted to see. But then when they got back into it, it was very good. So I really liked that. So yeah, I was just like glad I finally got to see it, but again, I was like, too early, man, too early. Then I didn't recognize the next song. Surprise, surprise. So, hold on, sorry guys. Again, it wouldn't have been my choice of follow-up because I didn't know it, but even if I did know it, it still wouldn't have been my choice, I decided, because it was so much slower and it was just such a mismatch of energy for me. Like, you know, again, we just came off of Narcolepsy and it was amazing, and then they went into this slower song, so that definitely was not my favorite. I then didn't recognize the other one, but at least the energy of this one matched so much better than the one after narcolepsy. So I really was at least a little bit appreciative of that fact, that it was like, okay, like at least you're starting to match things now. Then after that, they played Graduate, which is so good. Guys, it was so good. He unzipped his jacket, and it was so nice to see live. I love the instrumental bridge, and the singer took out a tambourine and started playing during that, so that was pretty cool. The next song was Wounded, so it had like a slower start to it, but a fantastic build up for the chorus, so I really liked that. The rest of the band then left the stage, and he talked about being joyful and grateful, and that the band is 25 years old this year, which is absolutely insane. Really, really crazy. So then he played a song with Justin electric guitar, and it was Slow Motion. It wasn't a song that I knew or was super familiar with, but it was a good song, and I thought it was well done with the like acoustic version of it, even though it was an electric guitar. More like not having other band members behind you, I guess is what I'm saying. I really actually loved the quality of his voice. There was one part where it kind of got a little bit heavier and his voice went a little bit raspy, and then right after that he like had to hit a lot of high notes. So I actually really, really loved and thought it was awesome. Like, it was a great showcase for his voice. I really liked that song and thought it was really great. Then after that, they did so he switched guitars, so he went to just a fully acoustic guitar this time, and they played In the Background is what I think it's called. So sorry, that was definitely a one-way street sign, right? Okay. Just making sure I'm not being a total weirdo with this traffic thing. Anyway, so that I think it was called In the Background, which is actually a very sweet song. I actually liked it better than the previous one. Not like, it was interesting because I liked his voice in the previous one better. So in Slow Motion, I thought it was just so impressive, right? To hear him sing all of those different types of, I guess, levels. I don't know what you would say. I'm not a singer, sorry guys. But I don't know if maybe it was the guitar. I'm not sure that I loved the electric guitar, so maybe just the fact that they were playing like an actual acoustic guitar made that the neck In the Background a little bit better. Anyway, after that, the band came back out and it had a slower energy, but the lyrics again had like that quick, short feel, so I love songs like that. And it again wasn't a song I recognized, but it actually was a good follow-up because it was like, again, it had that slower pace, and you were just coming off of that like semi-acoustic set, so that was I thought that was really well done. All right, now we're getting into the epicness of the night. So then there was Losing a Whole Year, which, guys, woo, finally a song that I knew. I was so excited to see it. Such a great song. This is when he finally took his jacket off. And then he used his elbow to play the tambourine, so he had his mic in the hand and then was using his elbow to, so that was pretty awesome. He definitely changed the pace / beat of the lyrics in the third verse, so I really loved that change. I thought that was really cool. After that, they played Motorcycle Drive-By, and at first I was like, they're not gonna play Motorcycle Drive-By in the acoustic set? That's crazy. But then I understood why they didn't, because it was so awesome. Oh my gosh, when they get to like the second verse, the drum part was fantastic, and then after that you just like have this like, oh, it was so well. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed the instrumentals along with the lyrics of that song. I was really impressed, because I don't know, I guess when I think of that song, I'm like, oh, this would be a good acoustic song, but man, I was wrong, and wrong, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that was really, really well done. I really, really liked that. I thought that was great. All right, so then after that, they played Blinded. So I wasn't hugely familiar with it, but at least I recognized it and was like, okay, like this is another song that I know, woohoo! So I thought that was a really good follow-up. Again, it like matched the energy, so it had a little bit more of an upbeat energy, but it like was a good transition again, because we went from like this acoustic set to like this slower song to then Losing a Whole Year to then Motorcycle Drive-By, so I thought that was really nice. After that, they went into Jumper. Definitely held some of the words in the second verse. Such a great song to see live. Really, really loved it. They stopped playing all the instruments and let the crowd sing the guitar part in the bridge, which I'm pretty sure Maryland had started the last time they were here at Pier 6, which, well, maybe not the last time they were here, but one time, a long time ago when they were here, that was the first time I saw them, and I'm pretty sure we started that. So I'm just saying, Maryland's pretty awesome. But yeah, so really loved seeing that, and of course it was a great follow-up to a song that I had already been enjoying anyway. So yeah. All right, so then, guys, yikes. So then after that, they just like totally and completely and thoroughly and utterly destroyed the vibe, in my personal opinion. They played a song I didn't know. It had a good follow-up energy, but it was just so not the song to end on for me, especially after Jumper. Like, come on, you went from Jumper to a song that I don't know why. I really didn't like that part. It was just such like an energy suck for me. It was, oh man, it was rough. Then they went off stage, and about a minute later they came back on, and they played Semi-Charmed Life, which was so epically good. They let the crowd sing the pre-chorus after the bridge, so that was super fun. It just like had this like epic ending, and I knew that they were gonna play another song, and so I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't end on Semi-Charmed Life. Not because it's my favorite Third Eye Blind song, which it is. Maybe Narcolepsy is my favorite. But like, I was just so disappointed because it was such a great epic end, and then it was like, oh, by the way, we're gonna play one more song, and you're like, no, what happened to just like being awesome and ending on this epicness? So anyway, but of course the follow-up song was How's It Gonna Be, so that was like amazing, because you're like, oh, I love this song too. But it just didn't have that same ending. It was like, at the end it's like, you know, how's it gonna be? And then it's like a slower end. I don't know, it just, they should have switched the last two songs. And again, I don't know if How's It Gonna Be is technically bigger than Semi-Charmed Life, which it probably is and could be, but just end on Semi-Charmed Life. Like, it's just as big a song, everyone loves it, like, you're okay if you're not ending on your biggest hit. So yeah, again, like, the end was great, it just was a little bit disappointing just because it was such an epic end. Like, Semi-Charmed Life was just so epic. And then they like ended it with, again, How's It Gonna Be? Great song. It was really fun to see live, but you know, I just like kept having that lingering like, ooh man, like that last little bit of Semi-Charmed Life was just so good. All right, score. Oh my gosh, guys, this is a rough one. Really liked Hockey Dad. Couldn't really hear the lyrics because of the echo. But I thought they did a good job, and again, they really like pushed through that problem with the bass drum, so gotta give them a ton of credit for that. Again, they had one low song that was a little bit slower, but I really liked most of their set for a band that I didn't know. Loved the last four songs of Taking Back Sunday, really can't complain there. Definitely played a few a little early for me, and then they played some that I didn't really know, but again, there was just those like two songs in the middle that wouldn't have been my choices, right? They played a song that I loved, and then they played a song that I didn't know. Oh gosh, man, Third Eye Blind, they were great, they were amazing, but some of their song placement choices were just so not great for me personally. Again, if you knew that song right after Jumper, awesome, and I'm sure it made the show epic, but I did not know the song, so it unfortunately really hindered like the enjoyment of that moment. Man, I think I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I feel bad. I feel like I'm being a little too biased in my score because of the fact that I didn't know a lot of the Third Eye Blind songs, so I'm trying to not be that biased, but also be fair. I think I'm gonna go with, alright, I'm gonna go with a 7.75. I'm gonna go 7.75 because again, Hockey Dad was great, but they definitely had that low moment in their set for me with that one slower song. Taking Back Sunday, again, they played some really great ones in the beginning and then followed it up with songs that I didn't necessarily agree with. And again, maybe that's my bias because I just like hearing songs that I know after songs that I know. But then, yeah, I think Third Eye Blind just, oh, man, that moment after Jumper really, really did me in. But again, they like played good songs, and it's not like any of the songs were necessarily bad. It's just, there were like many times in the set where they just like totally, like, Losing a Whole Year was great, and then they played a song that I didn't think matched. And then they did it again with Jumper, and then they should have switched those two songs in the encore. So I think 7.75 is good. Let me know if you agree. Listen, if you don't agree, please let me know. I'd be super interested to know. But yeah, so 7.75. I thought it was an overall great show. Definitely got to see some classics. Finally got to see Narcolepsy. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.